keep up. No play burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot put no zeros.
Don't you run out? No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut, Mayday. Bubbles and these models, it's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers. Now they'll run it on the toss. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. On the crossing route, complete. That's Graham. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That's fine. Yeah. Four down. Check.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense run out, force a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
On second down, here's Penny. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
And the sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Wilson on second down. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Let's get it.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a handoff looking right. And now running right through it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Box it.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On play action, now Rodgers. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
come on.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Rodgers now looking to throw on 2nd down. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he stopped immediately there. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Wilson. A dump off for Davis. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He's got Evans. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Nick Perry in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. That's caught by Penny. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. To throw on 2nd down. Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Penny, a first down carry. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Muhammad Wilkerson elevated a Temple program that was looking for players like him, and he's carried that on into the NFL. What a terrific play there.
And a nice tackle for loss for the former Temple Owl, as you said, and the 30th pick in the 2011 draft. Now Wilson to throw on second down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Muhammad Wilkerson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. And long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts? What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Escaping the play. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Barkevius Mingo in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Able to pick up a healthy chunk of yards, 7-yard gain, but a tough 3rd and 9 upcoming.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they...
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers. Cromartie. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. but it's second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. I think this is a free play for Wilson. Underneath to Davis. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now after the offsides penalty. Wilson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Baldwin. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Wilson looking to throw on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Now Wilson on first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jake Ryan coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, Tyler Lockett now with a return. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A handoff to Penny. Down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. To throw is Wilson. Operating from the gun. He completes it to Evans. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
On third down, Wilson. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back. Usually.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Nick Vannett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
They'll try the draw. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Out to kick is Janikowski. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Flushed out right. And some space here. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch it now, Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. It's big Vince Williams who made the tackle. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called rose stem right or rose stem left, depending on the formation. 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
They run a draw here on second down. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's J.K. Scott now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now they'll run it again with Penny. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Wilson, and that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4.
No, check, Patriot! Patriot!
They'll drop to throw. It's caught outright by Graham. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He finds Randall Cobb on the completion. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The 15 yards there on the catch and run. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here, and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'd be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. They'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. Now back to throw. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin, 4th quarter, you're going. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And this shutout is going to continue as the defense holds again. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They begin with a run by Penny. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Wilson now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Penny. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Davis. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. The Seahawks on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Play action. Now Wilson. Evans has it left side. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Rashad Penny. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. One final kneel down here, and that should just about do it. And the clock will roll down to zeros. 4 weeks in, 4-0. I don't think anybody needs to alert the 72 Dolphins just yet, but great start to the season.
Great start. How about taking a knee at the end, and there's no better feeling for a team than to do that, to close out a victory. But you're right, at 4-0, they're sending a message to the rest of the league. They're going to be tough to deal with.
The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Seahawks, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.